This is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. These words are usually said during a wedding ceremony or something on those lines. But when you get your own baby or you get pregnant and the baby comes out, wow! The babies, they look like you. They have some features that represent you, either by color, sex, or even how they behave. Then this scripture tends to make more sense on those lines than where it was actually intended. Welcome to Cradle to Campus. This is your one-stop family shop which offers spiritual, emotional, and mental orientation into the family conundrums that sails through child developmental stages all the way to adulthood. My name is Amos Otieno, and together with my wife,
Kiki Otieno,
we will be your host today, and we are grateful that you are subscribing, that you are viewing, you are doing the likes, because we know that we are learning together, and it helps us also to continue going strong. Now, when we were praying for our baby, man, the first thing that we needed to pray about was a great gyna, one who is God-fearing, one who loves people, not just the money. And lo and behold, God didn't fail us. In our journey, we came across a special gyna who has become a close and dear friend of ours. Today, I introduce you to a great doctor right here.
So thank you so much, Pastor. We really appreciate your value that you're adding for people throughout the country and throughout the world. My name is Dr. Wanjohi. I'm a gynecologist and I work in Nairobi, primarily in Mater Misericordia Hospital, but also in private practice. And it's a pleasure to be here.
Welcome.
Yeah, karibu sana daktari.
Thank you.
It's so nice to have you here. Yeah, and just like the way Amos has said, when we were having our baby, we really prayed, because we've had many stories, and it's a very anxious moment when you're going to have your baby, and the person that you really pray for is the doctor who is going to birth the baby. And we thank God even for the journey and just the fact that you're able to meet you in theater in that case. Yeah, but the one thing that really stood out for me is the post-delivery care. I just felt you're very exceptional. You kept in touch with my husband. You kept following up, how I'm doing, how the baby's doing, and we are so grateful. And, viewers, you are on for a treat. And man, this is an amazing, amazing doctor. So I have some very personal questions that I want to ask you. Prior to me meeting you, I had this opinion that an older doctor, is better. And man, I want to give a shout out to all the young people there doing your jig, and you're doing, whatever you're doing, giving your best. We are the future of this nation. And today we have Dr. Victor here, Wanjohi, who is a true representation of what young people can be able to do.
Absolutely.
So Daktari, you're very passionate, you're very hardworking, and you don't just give the service, but you give with all your heart. What is it that keeps you going? Or where does that motivation come from?
So my motivation is just to serve others. So to try to provide value to them in whichever way possible. So I always try to find a way how I can meet the needs of anyone who I'm serving, even though it's maybe even my relative at home or anything.
Yeah.
I'll try to go the extra mile.
Wow.
That's my motivation, just to add value to someone's life.
So, Doc, we wanted to move on to we are married. It's after the wedding. Maybe we have enjoyed 2 years of marriage.
Honeymoon.
Now we have, but biblically that is honeymoon. Yeah, serious honeymoon. Then now we want to get a baby, or we have conceived. So what are some of the things that you think we need to watch out for in that period of pregnancy? The first phase, second phase. Does it have 4 phases, the pregnancy period? Or 3?
So
yeah.
let me say maybe we can divide it into 3.
Okay.
So we have the pre-conception,
Mm-hmm.
and then during the time of pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
then maybe during the time of delivery,
Mm-hmm.
and then the postpartum period where someone has already delivered up to 6 weeks.
Ah, okay.
So in pre-pregnancy, we want to tell the couples out there to go seek the services of a healthcare provider to take them through something called preconception counseling.
Keyword.
So here we want to give somebody some important information about how they can take care of themselves before they get pregnant. For example, an easy thing is to tell them to avoid so many chemicals in their diet and in their food. So a lot of times our diet nowadays is westernized, so we want to eat a lot of processed food, and this processed food is going to cause an issue with conception.
Oh, wow.
Now when we move from there, now somebody by God's grace has become pregnant. It's important to note here that because we are a Pesapap generation, we want to yes we want to, if I want to get pregnant today, it should be this morning, not tomorrow. So it's good for couples to be patient. We always advise for them to wait for 1 year before they say they are unable to conceive or there is a problem, not before. Now when the God has blessed them and now they have gotten pregnant, it's important to start again, to go back to the health provider and to tell them what am I supposed to do now that I'm pregnant? Because a lot of challenges occur in the first trimester. For maybe the mothers out there, they'll know, maybe they'll feel that their body underwent some changes. Maybe they were vomiting so much, they were spitting so much, they had mood changes, so which are all normal but need to be assessed. So again, they start the clinics early, and then they go step by step until they reach the time of delivery. They should not avoid going to the clinic. A long time ago, the people used to go when they're in their 4th or 5th month, when the pregnancy maybe they say is showing. That's the one they're going to. Yes. But nowadays we advise the sooner the better. Then we'd rather structure in a way which is convenient to the mother, but not for them to go at the 6th month or the 7th month. There might be a problem that needs to be sorted. Now during the delivery, we want perhaps, is there any question up to there, or we just continue?
Let me, I feel like I want to advocate for the boy child.
Yes.
So my wife, for example, is going through all these changes, and we're definitely probably, the first thing, let me underscore, we did not have a pre-pregnancy.
As we did.
We didn't, as we just felt like, let's continue. So thank you for that point, that we need to have pre-pregnancy counseling.
Yes.
Hey, that is a beacon that we want to underscore. But now, so the boy child has contributed in the pregnancy process, and now the wife is going through what you've just shared. The vomiting, all these changes. How does that affect the man? Because we rarely talk about that aspect. Maybe because we assume he just disappeared to work.
So most men actually they undergo kind of like also a time of crisis, because they were the expectations which they had in mind when maybe they were getting married. For example, maybe they will have a partner who will be there for them. Maybe they were expecting maybe to come home and find the place is well arranged and maybe a hot plate of food.
Come on, yeah.
Now this lady is vomiting and she cannot be able to stand the smells. So she decides she's not going to cook. So you see, the man is also going to go undergo some crisis. At the same time, a lot of attention now is directed towards the pregnancy and the lady as opposed to the man. So maybe now there are going to be clinic sessions to be attended, and now the man was not prepared to go to the clinic with his wife when none of them is unwell. So you can see there is going to be a bit of a push and pull. So it's important that the men accompany the ladies for these clinics, because they can also get to understand the magnitude of maybe what is going on in the woman's body, and then they can also be able to find a way to cope and also to provide the right support to the pregnant, to his wife. For example, maybe we want certain nutrition, like maybe we say the mother should eat more iron in the diet, which is found in meat. So now there is no meat, the man does not want to buy the meat. So at least if the man can accompany the wife, then he'll be advised on what is the best way forward.
Diet and all that. Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Doc, for that. I'm wondering, what are some of the diet, like, or even supplements that someone should take during that time of pregnancy, and why is it important to take them in the first place?
So thank you very much. Research has shown that there's only two things which are going to have an impact on the mother, on an African mother. Calcium with vitamin D and iron. So we want the mother to have an iron-rich food, which is found in meat and in dark green vegetables, and then calcium-rich food, which is the mother should take milk occasionally and get some sun exposure. This is going to give her calcium and the iron. Supplements are good to top up the difference. Maybe the mother is not having a very good diet, so supplements such as IFAS can help the mother's iron levels to remain high throughout the pregnancy.
Me, on the part of calcium, I say omena for life.
Is omena?
Yes, omena is very good
for calcium.
Yes. Bone soup is also very good. It's very nutritious.
Perfect.
Wow, nanjahe sisi watu wa Mount Kenya. Wanasema iko na iron.
With legumes, they are not very good sources of iron.
Okay, so Doc, there's this can I call it $1 million question that goes through every mom or even every pair that is expecting. It's time now to deliver the baby. How do we choose a facility? What are some of the birth options that are out there that we need to consider? What's your take on that?
So, in terms of delivery, so this mother has been going to the clinic regularly. Now, as part of the clinic follow-up, we normally do something called birth plan.
Yes.
So making a birth plan means we discuss where will the delivery happen, and what to bring to the hospital, and who to bring, because we don't want the mothers to come alone to hospital. We want them to be accompanied. So maybe if the spouse is not able to come, then we want maybe a birth companion, another lady who can accompany her.
And why is that, by the way?
This one is going to help the mother to have emotional support. You see, during the labor and delivery process, irrespective of the mode of delivery, there is a lot which is happening, and it is good that this mother feels that she's being supported. Maybe if she's in pain, she has somebody who can go and request, or who can shout and say, this person is in pain, please give her something. Or maybe the baby is not getting enough milk, then we can say, someone else can come and shout and say, my baby is not receiving enough milk. So men out there should make sure that they are part of the process. It is very important and very commendable.
Wow.
about the delivery options, we have normal delivery or assisted delivery, assisted vaginal delivery, or CS. Okay, so normal means the baby comes the natural way after getting labor. Assisted means that we assist the labor process by helping the baby to come out. So we expedite the pushing process. Now number 3 is the cesarean section. So it can be elective or emergency. So emergency means it's unplanned. Maybe the mother came and got a complication. So now we have to go to theater. A planned cesarean section, from right at the word go, then we'll tell the mother that she needs to go in for cesarean delivery when the time comes. When in the postpartum period, it's important for mothers to know.
What's postpartum, by the way?
Oh, that's a good question. So postpartum is the time between when the mother has delivered up to 6 weeks or 42 days. After 42 days, we consider that this mother has stopped being pregnant. She's outside the pregnancy period.
Yes.
So, but between the first day after delivery till the 6th week, then that time she's in a pregnancy state. So she needs to be more careful because there are also complications which can affect such a time. Yes.
Wow. So talking about postpartum, there's this big term out there. I'm sure many people have heard about it, and it's very common, you know, postpartum depression. What's postpartum depression and what causes postpartum depression? And
So-
do men have postpartum depression, or it's just for women?
Thank you for advocating for the boy child.
So let's start with men before, and then ladies first.
Yeah.
So with the men before, they do go some crisis because maybe for the mother, the whole 9 months was a different time for her.
Yes.
She was feeling the changes in pregnancy. She was feeling the baby movements. Now and connecting with the baby. Now the baby has come, and the man did not take part in that process. So the man now is faced with a challenge of having to come to terms that now there's another somebody in their lives who has to be taken care of. So a lot of men, they undergo some kind of crisis, and it's important if they feel that they are being left out or they are not getting the support they need, it is a good time to shout and to get the support they need. Now back to the mother, this postpartum depression. How it comes about is the hormones that were supporting the pregnancy, now they are no longer needed by the body. So the hormones start going down to the pre-pregnancy state. So this mother who was maybe very excited that she's soon to deliver, the hormones are maximum. As they are going down, the mother is going to feel like the mood now is changing. The mood is getting worse and worse and worse. And without a very good support, she's going to feel that now she's getting her mood is changing. She's no longer having interest in the regular activities, even taking care of the baby. Maybe she's very moody and crying a lot. And especially having a good support system is very important because they're the ones who are going to identify that this woman is now, she's not the same way. When we came from the hospital, she was a different way from the way she is right now, and we'll be able to take her to hospital. However, this mother, she's been taking care of the baby alone. Maybe she has no one to help her. Now she's going to feel the symptoms of the depression, postpartum depression or the postpartum blues, and then there's nobody to support her. The complication is some get psychosis, meaning they cheesy, they go crazy. Yes.
Wow.
So these are some of the pitfalls which can befall a lady. Yes. So it's important to have the good support.
And now talking of support, I know there's the social aspect, which we'll talk about later, as the pastor and and me here. But now, for you, doctor, what are the specific support? When you say support system, what are the specific people that you're talking about here who can be able to support someone who's just had a baby?
And things maybe that they can do
to make sure that the blues are going, and the signs of depression are going down, and how are they able to identify that now things are getting to the red sign, I need to ask for help?
So that's an excellent question. So just with the normal human being, there are the things which will make them feel unhappy. These ones are going to contribute to the feeling of maybe blues or depression. So for example, somebody should have help to take care of the baby. So they are not taking care of the baby, and then they're also taking care of the relatives, and then they're also washing the house, they're also washing the dishes. So we want somebody to help with the basic house chores.
Yes.
Secondly, we want somebody to talk to. So this person, maybe all the chores are being done, but they are being left alone in the bedroom to stay with the baby. So they need somebody to engage with, someone who they can explain how they are feeling. Number 3 is pain control. So this gets overlooked, that the mother maybe might be in some pain, and the painkillers, maybe they are not working. So this mother cannot leave the bedroom to go to bond with the rest of the family, because she's in pain. So she gets the depression. We want the pain control to be good, so that the mother can be able to integrate back in the society as if she was just normal. Yes.
Wow, that's very insightful. And talking about that, I know there's a lot of stigma around postpartum depression. I don't know what would be your call to the people who are viewing about postpartum depression, about the stigma.
Yeah, so maybe to address the listener out there, or the viewer out there, is just to tell them that this postpartum depression is real, that you need to be aware of it, so that somebody can recognize that there is a change which has taken place, which needs to be addressed by a healthcare provider. If the mother is getting the support she needs, it's going to be less. But if she is not getting the support that she's able to get, or that she requires, then the risk is there, and she needs to take control, or the carer should take control. Yes.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. for that. That is very helpful. Now on a social aspect, there's some key things that I wanted to mention that are very helpful, and especially for a couple, that is, we are in this together. It's very important, even after the baby has come, that we can find some time together, because we need an adult time. You remember, like the Dr. said, many times we are stuck in the room with the baby. So it's very important to plan how are we able to get some time away, even if it's just for 1 hour, not very far from home, sometimes taking a walk, that will really help, especially the mother, but also the husband who's been on the other extreme, because many times, Dr. will agree with me, we tend to push the hubbies, and we are there with our babies, so that we can have that balance in the family. That is something that I feel it's very important. But also, maybe from my journey, what I can say is keeping journals, for those of us who like writing, is very therapeutic. Just writing how your day was, what the baby gave you, the first smile, all those beautiful memories, they are very helpful. And then if you're able to, I know people are very different, if you're able to take a photo session, it doesn't have to be the extreme that we see online, but something to keep those memories special, because very soon this baby in the cradle will be this 18-year-old, and you'll be looking and you'll be like, man, look at this journey, it's been so beautiful,
Absolutely.
So if you're able to, it's very good. Do a photo session, even with your phone, by the way. Keep those pictures and treasure them. And then finally, please, let's pray for our babies. You know, pray for them now, pray for their future, dream for them, because we are the prayer warriors and we cement our families with prayer.
So, me, I take issue.
Mm-hmm.
And doctor, you need to help me. Me, I need help. Kuna mambo ya kuimbia mtoto akiwa kwa tumbo. This guy, you're not singing. How do you just sing? You know, and it can be a big issue. You know, it can
How
be...
do you connect?
How... Is that part of connecting? You know, as in, like, I come home after a hard day's work, then you put your ear on the stomach and you start singing. Baba Black Sheep. Do they hear, as in?
The baby will hear, but the purpose of that talking to the baby, and the baby is hearing constantly.
Yeah.
He's listening.
Whoa!
Wow.
He's awake and he's listening.
Mm-hmm.
So he's identifying the mother's voice, he's identifying the voices around.
No, while
Wow.
still in the womb.
Wow.
Hey! Hey!
That's how come you can find, like, the baby can say, like, maybe this is my mom's voice.
Wow.
Like, the
When
baby
they're
will
born.
cry. Yeah, the baby will cry when they're near the mother.
Mm-hmm.
But if they feel like it's someone else who has held them,
Mm-hmm.
then they'll feel, this is not, then the baby will keep quiet.
Oh, wow.
Ah,
Yes.
that is a serious issue.
So now you should not stop. You should just continue
Singing
Singing
and telling stories. I think that would be a good thing. Just read stories so that I do when a baba.
Yes, they actually babies who have that both parents there, they are more balanced.
Wow.
Yes, psychologically
Mm-hmm.
than babies who are predominantly brought up by maybe by a single parent. So the men, if they are there, they should be brought on board, so that even the babies, for the sake of the children, so that they feel that I can cry and I have two people to cry to, or two shoulders to lean on, or 2 points of view, so that produces the baby is more balanced.
Wow.
Very true. My friends, as you can hear, and this is only a tip of the iceberg, there is so much that goes into this period that we have actually not mentioned today. But what we're trying to bring out today is the fact that immediately the pregnancy journey begins, it brings an imbalance on both the father and the mother. And if this balance is not, or rather this imbalance is not handled well through the strategies that have been mentioned, including eating proper diet, including having emotional connection through different activities, bringing people around you, not the whole village, because also when you have too many people around you, it can be overwhelming as well, to gain the balance.
Yeah.
But you need a support system that will help you to navigate through this season of pregnancy to delivery and the post-delivery, which then now we had a new term today called postpartum period. You need people around you, just enough to keep you sane and balanced as a parent, or even as a baby. I think I like the last part that you need to sing to the baby. Wazito, lazima tuimbie watoto wakiwa kwa tumbo. Very important.
Ni vizuri.
Ni vizuri. No, ni lazima.
Okay.
Kama uko area, you're the man, sing. And then you go to hospital with her. Hapo, I had to be humble and go to the hospital with my wife. It's not the easiest. But I think by the time we were coming out of hospital, we were very happy and very connected with each other, even with the baby. So talking about these things, we are getting on to our devotional for the day. But till on, we're still talking about these matters all the way to adulthood. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. We read from verse 1 all the way to 13. And the Bible reads, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear down and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What does the worker gain from his toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on men. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the hearts of men, yet they cannot fathom it. What God has done from beginning to end. I know that there is nothing better for men than to be happy and to do good while they live, that everyone may eat and drink and find satisfaction in all this toil. This is the gift of God. Amazing. The Bible is saying that God has designed seasons for everything under the sun. The supremacy of God, His almighty power. We have seasons to which everything under the sun are subject to. But God has also given us the gift of choice on how we can respond to the seasons that He has created. And we definitely know that the way we respond will determine whether we enjoy or do not enjoy. Yes, today we are trying to subject our family equilibrium to the ebbs and flows of the seasons that God has created under the sun. We know that it doesn't matter whether you are a teen or a parent. We are all subject to these seasons. But how we respond really matters.
For the mothers, I know we've talked about, the mothers in the house, we've talked about what's going on. My encouragement is that God has chosen you to be the mother of that baby. Or even for the dads, God has chosen you to be the dad for that baby. And I know, especially for the first time mothers, there's pressure. Am I doing a good job? How am I supposed to do this? And sometimes there's even advice that we've not even asked for. Someone comes and tells you, you're not doing a good job with this. You should be doing this. And sometimes it's very easy to feel insecure. I had such moments, but the one scripture that gave me a lot of confidence is to know that God rewards, children are a reward from God. And God has rewarded me with that baby. And because of that, He has confidence in me that I can be able to do a good job. So mom out there, dad out there, do a good job because God has chosen you to be the mother or even the dad for that baby. Thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking our videos. Thank you for the comments. Please let us know, what you want to hear, areas that you need us to improve, and keep subscribing. Thank you so much. God bless you.